Hello. So is this running? Yeah, I think it is. Is this running? Well, I hope to God it is. But anyway, I just thought I would talk about this in a live stream cuz like I actually tried recording like a half hour long video, but then for some reason my laptop wouldn't save it because I was recording it with my webcam or on some app and it just wouldn't save. So, to prevent that from happening again, just doing this in a live stream. So, usually I don't live stream. I don't usually just do straight up talking live streams. But however, I thought that this was an important thing to talk about. So, if you live in Alberta or like have been paying attention to like your newspapers or like online news media or anything, you might have heard of this, but yeah, there was what was supposed to be a peaceful protest that turned violent that happened. And I was there. I was ready to listen to the 6 or 7 speakers that they were supposed to have, but they were silenced and they were not allowed to speak. They were silenced by far right groups that came to destroy, to disturb, to create violence. And these are not just like claims that have no backing behind them. There's screenshots that it was premeditated to bring violence. There was threats of violence. There were threats from these people that they were going to bring weapons. Okay. So a backstory. This all stemmed from when Red Deer resident Pat King, he posted a video on Facebook. It was basically a video to rally to gather people to counter protest, an anti-racism protest. Basically saying that Black Lives Matter and Antifa was coming to destroy their communities. Spreading misinformation that couldn't be less true. Every single demonstration, every single protest, every single community conversation I have been to has not ended in violence. There's not counter protesters. There's not counter protesters with megaphones and with threats of violence disturbing the peace. There was none of that in previous ones I've been to. That's the problem with this one. They came basically to get, I don't know. But when you come to disturb an anti-racism protest that they were actually collecting donations for the homeless, including like non-perishable food items, winter clothes, and feminine hygiene products. Who are you collecting? Food, feminine hygiene products, winter clothes for the homeless? I don't think so. And they try to ban it under, oh, we're just trying to protect our communities from terrorists and people that are trying to burn, loot, murder. And burn, loot, murder. The Burn, Loot, Murder rally. That's a quote straight from Pat King. I'm gonna stop this Burn, Loot, Murder rally. I don't know. 6 to 7 speakers. Didn't sound like a burn, loot, murder rally. Probably would have lasted probably 3 or 4 hours of speakers. Like, honestly, it wasn't supposed to be as much of a straight up protest as it was a learning session. People speaking their experiences with systemic racism. So the day comes. They show up. They show up early. And I know that because I came there like 10 minutes early. They were there. They're already there with their megaphones. And they had their vans with like Unite Canada like posters plastered all over it, and then their big Canadian flags and stuff. Oh, we're patriots. If you're a true patriot coming to disturb a peaceful demonstration, you are silencing free speech. And then they're signed with free speech, free speech. But like, okay, let us, please let us practice our right to free speech under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, the Canadian Constitution. It's our constitutional right to speak our mind. So do you. You have a constitutional right. But when you're threatening violence and preventing people from speaking their minds and also spewing hateful rhetoric. But when they got there, they were like, oh, like, you guys are racist, and yeah, well, we all bleed the same. And I straight up had a poster that's had that slogan on it. Okay, then show us. Show us. If we all bleed the same and you believe that all lives matter, why do you crash an anti-racism protest? I said Red Deer against racism. It makes zero sense. Because they're hiding behind popular opinions to further push their agenda. They have an agenda they want to push. That's all there is to it. Like, a lot of these groups, they're gangs. They wear, like, matching denim jackets and shit. Like, the Urban Infidels, like, they had, like, a big pig roast the night before, planning to drive in to Red Deer in the morning to fucking disturb the protest, disturb the peace. And that pig roast was outside of Calgary. Many of them likely weren't even from Red Deer. Honestly, probably many of the people on our side were not from Red Deer, and I know that because I know of a couple of people that drove in from Medicine Hat. But still, you're still coming to disturb a peaceful protest. And fists were thrown. Fists were thrown. There's footage of it. The police did nothing. Sure, they might have created a barricade with their bodies, with their bikes and stuff. But when fists were actually thrown and violence actually did happen, they did nothing to break it up. Because they didn't even come around to see what's happening. It was... And these groups are known for having hateful rhetoric. There's been countless news stories about soldiers of Odin and shit. Like, they were there too. Honestly, it's almost like the same thing. They're like offshoots of fucking each other, but like, whatever. And they brand themselves as community protection groups or whatever. Or community watch patrol groups. Really? The Urban Infidels specifically? They have like fucking brass knuckles on their logo. Like, do you want like someone in a denim jacket with brass knuckles protecting your community? No, that sounds like some weird fucking militia or fucking terrorist thing. Like, I don't even know where they get their logic from. And not only that, a few days before, a restraining order was filed against Pat King by one of the organizers of the anti-racism protest because he was sending threats of violence, death threats. That was to protect herself. And the speakers, the organizers, they had to flee for their safety because honestly, everyone knew that they probably wouldn't have been safe because they know who the organizers are. And they say, oh yeah, but why don't you guys go and get jobs and stuff? Like, for the people that I know that came on the anti-racism side, there are small business owners. The person that was being sent death threats by Pat King, who had a restraining order against him, she's the owner of a small business. There's multiple small business owners who are in that group. Many have jobs. And why should having a job amount to your human worth? Sure, you should be able to support yourself. But how much output you have towards the rich should not determine your worth. And when you're fighting the good fight, fighting for equality for all, that should be what should be valued of you as a person, of who you are as a person, what is in your heart. What's in their heart is hate. So basically, the standoff basically lasted for an hour and a half, about an hour and a half when I was there. Like from when I came there and when I left. Because when I left, it was like people were starting to leave because like they're saying like we're gonna meet at this parking lot or something. They're like changing a location or something. But then when we actually got there, like no one was there. So I don't know. But basically, apparently, the remaining people actually had to be escorted to their vehicles because they were fearing that there'd be violence towards them. And not only that, they were throwing threats at the start. Like as I was walking through, they're like throwing threats, like, oh yeah, well, aren't you supposed to be getting ready for school? Yeah, well, this isn't yeah, well, this isn't an event for children. Like, we're bringing your children here. Well, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be an event for children, but you made it not an event for children by like bringing your megaphones and punching people, hitting people in the freaking skull. Like it's supposed to be like speakers. Like my family actually brought lawn chairs. Expecting, to listen to some speeches. But no. You can't do that. Okay, so then after the protest, I talk about the aftermath and what has happened since then, because a lot of positive has actually come out of this. Sorry, I drank all my water. I don't know why my throat's sore, but hopefully I'm not getting anything like COVID. Oh, that's fine. But anyway. So the evening after, well, like basically what happened in the evening. But later in the evening, article was posted by the Red Deer Advocate about it, and it was basically almost siding with the other people. Oh yeah, well Pat King from All Lives Matter says this. Yeah, but you forget a fact that a restraining order was laid against him, and he actually had to stay 100 meters away. Because whoever's watching, can you? Okay, should be good. But whoever and you see the other side collecting food for the homeless. No, but it was almost supporting the other side, but they forget the fact that, oh yeah, well, like let both sides speak, but like you're like interviewing a guy that rallied a bunch of like thugs to like disturb a protest. Oh yeah, well, Patrick from All Lives Matter disturbing an anti-racism protest. Do all lives really matter if you're disturbing an anti-racism demonstration? Like what the fuck? But basically, yeah, I was almost supporting them, and it was awful to see. But then the day after, there was a news report by City TV News Edmonton that they created that was basically standing in solidarity with the people who are affected, with the people who were punched, in the head, standing in solidarity with the people who had to leave, the organizers who had to leave out of fear, and who were denied their right to free speech. And in the comments of that, there was lots of people going, "Oh yeah, but they're just like trying to destroy our communities and it." But like, really, really. And then also, Rachel Notley, former premier of Alberta. She's also the leader of the NDP here in Alberta, currently still. She's actually running again because Jason Kenney is privatizing everything and throwing disabled people under the bus. But yeah, conservatives are awful. But that's beside the point. But like she posted a statement from what I believe on Facebook. It might have been on Twitter too, basically coming out in support of us and condemning the violent actions that happen, condemning racism, condemning the hate that was expressed, condemning them getting right up 2 inches from people's faces with microphones. There's footage. You can look it up. You can look, like there's like raw footage. Honestly, you can find it online. But and then also Mayor Tara Veer, she actually released a statement. In my opinion, it wasn't as like solid stand as like Rachel Notley, but like, trying not to anger the real racist crowd here, because like there's like fucking racists, like lots of racists here. But so there has been good that's come out of it, and some of the organizers have been saying that they've been getting asked for interviews, including like national press coverage, which is a great thing. Great. Because now the entire country is beginning to hear about this, and it's actually trending on Twitter as well. So actually, the entire country is beginning to hear about this and know what happened and know the truth about this. Because hate can't win. Love can only win. Hate cannot win. And not only that, there was after that, to try to even like instigate it further, Pat King and his buddies were bullying the lady that had a restraining order against him. Basically saying, "Oh yo, look at this big titty hole." Like when you call like a black woman a big titty hoe just because like she's a black woman, like, well, I don't know, that's kind of racist. Like real racist. And not only that, it's like fucking immature to call like someone a big titty hoe. Like, how old are you? Like 16? Like this guy's like in his like probably in his like 40s, 50s. He's like fucking acting like a teenager. Well, I guess he hasn't mentally progressed past there mentally. So I guess that explains it if you're crashing anti-racism protests and spewing hate and saying stupid shit like that, I guess. So but there's good stuff coming from this. There's good stuff coming from this, and I'm glad that people are hearing it. But yeah, I want to do this in a live. Well, I didn't actually want to do this in a live stream, but like, there's no other way. Well, there was another way, but like I actually recorded an entire video, but like it wouldn't save. So like I don't have the footage. And I had like a big talk about this already, so yeah. I just decided it was easier just to do it in a live stream. So yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna end it here. Been here for almost 23 minutes, so yeah, I think I'll end it off here. So thank you for coming and listening. If you want to rewatch this, if you just joined or whatever, I think someone just joined. It'll be available to rewatch. I think that's a very important thing to listen to. A very important thing to say. I know I usually don't do stuff like this, stuff that's not related to music on this channel anymore. But I just thought that this was important to talk about and to speak out against this. So yeah. Anyway, see ya.